from Tampa Bay's streaming news leader, this is ABC Action News, taking action for you.
So glad to have you with us. I'm Isabel Rosales. John Sable has the night off. We'll get to those stories in just a moment. But first, Jason, we had a gorgeous and cool day, but you're about to be the bearer of bad news here.
It's all about perspective, all right? So if you are a fan of the fall weather, then yes, I'm about to be the bearer of bad news for you. However, if you love the summer heat and humidity, it's coming back tomorrow. But how great was today? Low 70s up north, mid to upper 70s down south. No humidity out there at all, and lots of sunshine mixed in with some clouds. And current temperatures have already fallen back into the 60s along and north of I-4. We're still into the low 70s south of town. But we're not going to be as cool tonight as we were this morning. Many of us fell into the upper 50s, but I think most of us, especially I-4 south, stay into the 60s tonight. Here's your hour by hour for the rest of your Saturday night. No problems out there, no rain, but you are noticing the increasing clouds, and these clouds eventually give us rain chances as that heat, mid 80s, and the humidity, yeah, that very high nasty stuff, it's on its way back. And we'll talk about what this means for Sunday. And of course, the big week coming up. We have Election Day Tuesday. All that forecast coming up at Florida's Most Accurate in just a few minutes. Isabel?
Jason, thanks. We'll check back in with you in just a little bit. Well, families across the Bay Area are cleaning up damage from Friday's strong storms. ABC Action News reporter JJ Burton explains the long recovery ahead for some.
We drove around to multiple places this morning, and this is what we're seeing. People cleaning up after last night's storms. Trees down here in Pasco County. We were in Seminole this morning, and we saw a lot of roof damage there.
And then we hear this bang, crash, boom, all this noise. And then about 45 seconds, a minute later, it was all gone.
Elizabeth Vantoberg and her husband came outside to see what had just happened. And look, this is what they saw.
And oh no, it's a mess. 2 trees on the roof, leaking in the ceiling.
Just walk a few blocks down on 92nd and much more damage and debris.
Oh my gosh.
A couple of the buildings in the front part of the Seminole Country Green condos have holes in the roofs, just like the clubhouse. And there's debris in the pool. Joseph LaFrasia found parts of his neighbor's fence on his roof.
It was obviously a tornado. A regular storm's not going to take a fence, and it was like 5 houses down.
The National Weather Service has confirmed 4 tornadoes touched down in the Tampa Bay area last night. Most of the people in the neighborhood around Seminole Country Green have lived here for more than 2 decades.
And we've never had an issue with anything. All the hurricanes, no damage, nothing, and then boom. I guess it was our turn.
And the same thing for the folks in Newport Richey. For some of these people, the cleanup process is going to be days, weeks, and for those who lost their roofs, probably even months. Reporting in Pasco County, JJ Burton, ABC Action News.
And more help is now on the way to the Panhandle, this time to get schools ready for students after Hurricane Michael. Early this morning, carpenters, plumbers, and mechanics left from Newport Richey. They plan to work in the area for a week. Students in Bay County, the worst hit area, are set to return to classes November 12th. Michael made landfall in the Panhandle last month. We have new information about the gunman accused of a deadly shooting at a Tallahassee yoga class. Police now say the shooter posed as a customer and started firing without warning. He killed 2 women, wounded 5 more, then turned the gun on himself. Police say the gunman, Scott Beerley, had previously been arrested for harassing women and had once been banned from FSU's campus. Investigators are trying to figure out if there's any connection between him and the victims. Now to the latest in democracy 2018 with Election Day on Tuesday. Candidates looking to be Florida's next governor are hitting the campaign trail throughout the weekend. Democratic nominee Andrew Gillum stopped at the University of Central Florida in Orlando this morning for a Get Out the Vote event. He's also making a stop in West Palm Beach. U.S. Senator Bill Nelson, who is running to stay in the U.S. Senate, will join him. Gillum's Republican opponent, Ron DeSantis, made a stop in the Bay Area today. He spoke at the Rocking H Ranch in Lakeland early this afternoon. He's also attending President Trump's Make America Great Again rally in Pensacola. Early voting happening this weekend. Lots of folks headed to the polls with just 3 days before the midterm election. ABC Action News reporter Maricela Burgos is live at one of those early voting sites. Maricela, what can you tell us?
Well, this voting site just closed right now at 7 o'clock, but I did see a steady stream of people going and voting. This location is a library off of West Bears Avenue. A lot of people wanted to get their vote in early. They told me the wait was not bad today. It was a fairly easy process. As voters walked up, they probably noticed a large number of campaign signs covering every inch of the grass before voters got to the front door. One voter told me it didn't matter seeing that because she had already made up her mind. Other voters wanted to bring their kids to teach them about why it's important to exercise their right to vote.
I wanted to make sure my vote would count, so I wanted to get in early, beat the traffic, beat the lines, so that's why I came early. And I wanted them also to experience it with us.
According to the Hillsborough County Supervisor of Elections, there are more than 857,000 registered voters in the county. Nearly 37% of them have already voted. Reporting live, Maricela Burgos, ABC Action News.
Still ahead, police arrest actor Alec Baldwin after a parking spot dispute. The accusations that actor is denying. And a man found dead inside a car in St. Pete. The person police are now charging with murder, and the reason he wasn't hard to find. Actor Alec Baldwin is denying that he hit someone over a parking spot in New York City. Baldwin claims it's being reported for clickbait entertainment. Police arrested him yesterday and charged him with assault and harassment. Now, the other man involved says Baldwin hit him, but he isn't sure if it was a punch or a slap. A new update on a man found dead with a gunshot wound inside a car in St. Pete earlier this week. Police are now charging the man you see there, LaShot Golden, with murder. Investigators say Golden shot the victim in the head along 38th Street North, but Golden was already in jail, arrested the day after the murder for an unrelated carjacking and shooting. The man investigators say is behind a thwarted robbery, now behind bars. Deputies say Trevor Gray tried robbing Best Thai and Sushi restaurant in Zephyr Hills, but when he demanded money, no one gave him any, so he ran off. He's now being held in jail on a $100,000 bond. Still ahead, a 15-year-old Florida boy accused of killing his mom. One investigators say they had an argument about before he did it. Plus, Jameis Winston will not be starting quarterback. Bucs making the change and hoping Ryan Fitzpatrick sparks the offense against the Panthers. Brandon Baylor will have more coming up in sports. A disturbing case in Volusia County where a 15-year-old is accused of killing his mom and burying her body at a church. Investigators say the teen confessed to strangling his mom after an argument about his grades at school. Deputies say he loaded her body in a van and buried her under a fire pit at a church. Deputies also arrested two of his friends for helping him bury the body and stage a burglary to cover up that crime. All right, so you still have time for funnel cakes, animals, and rides. The 5th annual Pinellas County Fair runs until 11 tonight and opens back up tomorrow. It's held at the England Brothers Park in Pinellas Park. Today, seniors get in for free, and tomorrow is the last day of the fair. That'll be running from noon until 10 p.m. And if wine is more up your alley, like most of us here, you can check out the Uncorked Food and Wine Festival. It's right on Clearwater Beach, just south of Pier 60. The fest celebrates the Bay Area chefs, restaurants, and breweries. That runs again tomorrow from 1 until 5. And if you're confused on whether to fall back on Sunday following the law passed to keep Florida on daylight saving time all year round, well, let this serve as a reminder to turn your clocks back tonight. That's because Congress gets the final say under federal law. Only Congress may enact a statute changing a state's time zone. So far, Congress hasn't approved the change, but hey, at least we're going to get an extra hour of sleep tomorrow morning. Isn't that right, Jason?
Yes.
Are you a fan of that?
I'm just kind of over it, to be honest. Like, we
Over
keep going back and
falling
forth of whether or not we're going to do it. Are we going to do it? Some people are saying get rid of it. Some people are saying don't get rid of it.
I like the sunshine a little bit.
But our guy here, another Jason Adams that works here at the station, he just informed us that if we do get rid of it, then once daylight saving ends, we might be not going on until midnight for
I
our
know,
newscast.
programming trade, it's all sorts of trickiness.
Crazy. So, well, I'm not going to worry about it, but enjoy that hour of sleep tomorrow morning. As we look live, beautiful sunset. Looks like some people out there with flashlights, maybe trying to get some of those ghost crabs that are out there here on Anna Maria Island. Fantastic day today. I really hope you took advantage of it because we're back to the heat and humidity as early as tomorrow. It was a typical fall front where it came in with showers and storms, gave us only one day of low humidity. and then we're back to the heat and humidity tomorrow. We're already starting to see the more yellow colors down south versus the green colors, which are cooler and drier areas of Florida. That's starting to move back to the north. So 60s and 70s right now. We're going to stay into the 60s I-4 south. North of I-4, you'll fall back into the upper 50s tonight, but the skies are going to remain mostly cloudy. No rain out of these clouds just yet. That will hold off until tomorrow afternoon. But as we look at your Sunday outlook, starting tomorrow morning into the low to mid 60s, and then we'll be up into the 70s by 10 a.m. Already into the 80s, even perhaps 84, 85 degree range by noon to 1 o'clock, even though this is showing low 80s. I'm thinking many of us will jump back up into the mid 80s, especially along and south of I-4, where the cold front that moved south of us yesterday is actually moving back to the north as a warm front, and it's bringing back the heat and humidity that was pushed to our south as we go to tomorrow's forecast. So scattered showers and thunderstorms with us. That chance around 50%. Not everybody sees the rain. It won't rain all afternoon, but definitely a day to go ahead and download our free Storm Shield app. Familiarize yourself with it today. That way, if you're out and about enjoying your Sunday, it starts to rain, you know exactly where to go to get the radar going to see how long the rain's going to last. So 7 a.m., we're looking at temperatures into the 60s and 50s up north. Then the scattered showers start to move in from the eastern side of the peninsula tomorrow afternoon. And then again, they start to become a bit more widespread. Best rain chance for Sunday between 2 and 8. And then after 8 o'clock, a lot of that will fade away, and we'll go back over to mostly cloudy skies to start Monday. Monday morning, more 70s back instead of these 50s that we had this morning. So that's a sign the humidity is definitely much higher Sunday into Monday. And then there we go again. Temperatures back above average. We average 81 this time of year. We're back up to around 85 to 86. Records should be safe, though. They're in the upper 80s for this time of year. I don't think we get there for record high temperatures, but some spots could get close to that. And your rain chance on Monday drops to around 20%. So it's not going to rain much next week, but with the heat and humidity back, can't eliminate those shower and storm chances, especially into the afternoon hours. Good news, tropics continue to remain quiet. I see no development over the next 5 days. We are watching Xavier, which is going away from the Mexican coast here, so no concerns with it, but some of that tropical moisture trying to sneak in with our warm front tomorrow, and that's why your rain chances again will be on the elevated side as we head into the afternoon hours. Florida's most accurate 7-day forecast. Very important day coming up Tuesday for Election Day. Good news, 20% chance to see a pop-up shower or storm if you haven't already participated in the early voting. Forecast looks good. Low 70s to start, mid 80s to finish, above average all the way into the end of the upcoming work week, and looking ahead already to next weekend. Never too early to do that. I think another front will start to move in. Timing still up in the air right now, but I think Friday into Saturday we'll start to watch for a little bit of an increased rain chance as that cold front approaches, and behind it temperatures may drop just a little bit. This one doesn't look to be as strong as what we saw today, with many spots stuck into the lower 70s.
Well, last week was a blur for USF thanks to Houston handing them their first loss of the season. Today, the Green Wave at Ray J and Tulane just 3 wins on the year, but that meant nothing early on in this one. Charlie Strong and the Bulls gave up 28 points in the first half against the Cougars. Tulane's offense tried to match that. Green Wave up 10-3 on second and goal. They punch it in here for a 2-touchdown lead. 5 minutes later, they're back on the ground game. Corey Dauphine basically untouched here from 20 yards out. That was a story all day as USF gets their second loss in a row as Tulane rolls 41-15. Meanwhile, Taggart and the Noles and Raleigh trailing the Wolfpack. NC State in the red zone. Finley finds Harmonic with the back shoulder fade here. Wolfpack, they make a 17-0 lead after that touchdown. Seminoles would respond. Blackman loads up here and floats it to Terry. He falls in for 6, but FSU flipping the switch a little too late. NC State wins big. Final from North Carolina, 47-28. Now, Dirk Cutter made it clear change must happen, and it started with the quarterbacks. Winston heading to the bench, while Fitzmagic, well, he's returning under center. Now, earlier this week, the guys mentioned how this affects the team moving forward.
What doesn't kill you will always make you stronger. This is definitely a humbling process, but it's a chance for me to learn and sit behind Fitz.
After 3 straight starts, Jameis Winston will be heading to the bench. Against the Falcons, Browns, and the Bengals, the offense hasn't been in sync. Not to mention Winston already has 10 interceptions, time for the most in the league.
It's definitely something that I can grow from and learn from, and you know, and it just adds to the story. You know, I got to keep working hard, and like I say, every year my goal is to get better and better, and right now I'm not getting the job done.
With him on the shelf, Fitzpatrick taking over as QB1 against the Panthers. Fitz no stranger to the change in the middle of the season. It's something he's been a part of here and throughout his 14-year career.
I've been in a lot of situations where, You know, I wasn't the guy and became the guy and then wasn't the guy again, or went into a season as the guy. And the biggest thing about the NFL is it's a performance-based league.
Despite the recent struggles from Jameis, Cutter has not committed to either quarterback for the remaining 10 games on the schedule. Instead, he's focused on winning in Charlotte.
Jameis, you know, he knows how to handle himself, and I think he's done a good job of that. He's not the only guy that's ever been in that situation in his life. He's not the only guy on our team that's in that situation. So, yeah, sure, I'm concerned about all these guys, but at the same time, I mean, our number one job is to get ready for Carolina.
Now the bad news for the Bucs, the Panthers are a perfect 4-0 when playing at home. That's a look at your sports. ABC Action News is back after this.
Enjoyed today, enjoyed this morning. Well, tomorrow morning it's going to be a little bit warmer, especially I-4 south. Temperatures into the low to mid 60s to start. Still mid 50s north. You'll definitely notice more cloud cover though, and then that chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms with temperatures climbing back into the lower to middle 80s. And unfortunately, the humidity is also coming back too, and it's going to be with us for the next week. So like I said, I hope you took advantage of today. This morning with the cool temperatures, my AC did not kick on at all this afternoon. It was awesome. So if you missed out today on getting out.
Well, tough luck. That's Florida, right?
It is. It is what it is.
Well, thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you back here after the game.